Visual Basic is a high-level programming language that is derived from the Basic language developed by John Kemeny and Thomas Kurtz, known as BASIC. Earlier versions of BASIC were CUI, Character User Interface based. The main aim of Visual Basic is to provide an easy platform to write programs that are mostly Windows-based. Visual Basic enables you to create GUI, Graphical User Interface applications easily. It is an object-based and event-driven programming language of Microsoft. Object-based language has inbuilt objects but doesn't support all the features of OOPS, object-oriented programming like polymorphism and inheritance. The Visual Basic IDE. Visual Basic comes with an integrated development environment or IDE that provides you easy-to-use tools that enable you to create buttons, text box, and other controls easily in your application. It is called integrated because we can access almost every development tool that we require from one screen called an interface. The IDE is also commonly referred to as the design environment. Open Visual Basic IDE with these steps. Click on Start button and then All Apps. Select Microsoft Visual Studio 6.0 from the list of apps and click on that. Now click on Microsoft Visual Basic 6.0. Visual Basic 6.0 shows the New Project dialog box in the beginning. You can open a new or any existing project from here. To start a new project, click on Standard EXE and then click on Open button. After this, the main workspace appears where you will develop your application with the tools in IDE, Integrated Development Environment. 6 windows appear when you start Visual Basic. The main window consisting of the title bar, menu bar and toolbar. The title bar indicates the project name, the current Visual Basic operating mode, example design, and the current form. The menu bar has drop-down menus to control the operation of the Visual Basic environment. The toolbar has buttons that provide shortcuts to some of the menu options. The form window is the place where you draw your Visual Basic application. The Properties window is used to see and edit the various property values for the current object. The drop-down box at the top of the Properties window lists all objects in the current form. The Form Layout window shows where your form will be displayed when executed relative to your monitor screen. The Project window displays a list of all forms and modules within your application. The Toolbox window contains a set of controls which can be used in your application to draw user interface. Standard Toolbox controls. Label. The label control is used to display text. It is also to label other controls. The end user cannot edit the label text. Text box. The text box control can contain any characters and is used to take text input from the user. End users can edit the characters contained in the text box. Command button. The command button control is simply a button like we see in our daily use software. When the end user clicks the command button, the program behaves according to the code assigned in the command button. Option button. This control enables the end user to select one among the several options. Only one option button in a group can be selected at a time. Checkbox. The checkbox control is used to make a yes or no or true or false selection. You can check more than one checkbox at the same time that let you make multiple choices. V scroll bar and H scroll bar. Vertical scroll bar and horizontal scroll bar controls let you create vertical scroll bar and horizontal scroll bar respectively. Frame. The frame control is used as a container of other controls. This is also used to group different controls, especially in option button controls, when you wish to select more than one option. The caption property associated with it useful to label the frame. Picture box and image. These controls are used to display images. Example, company logo. The supported picture formats are BMP, DIB or bitmap, ICO or icon, CUR or cursor, WMF or metafile, EMF or enhanced metafile, GIF and JPG. But PNG format is not supported. List box. The list box controls contain a number of items. The user can select one or more items from the list. Combo box. The combo box control has the feature of list box and text box. This control allows the user to select an item from the drop-down list box or to type in a selection in the text box. Drive list box, dir list box and file list box. These controls are often used together to perform file-related tasks like opening or selecting files that are stored in the secondary memory. Timer. The timer control is not visible on the form when you run the program. It is used to execute lines of code repeatedly at specific intervals. Shape and line. These controls do not raise events. Shape and line are used to draw line, rectangle, circle, etc. on the form. Data. The data control allows the application to connect to an existing database to display or manipulate information. OLE, Object Linking and Embedding. You can connect other programs to your application. It is generally used to link or embed an object made in some other Windows-based application. Apart from these, there are many other controls provided by the Visual Basic language. You can add external ActiveX controls that will enhance the interface and functionality of your program. Steps in developing application. There are 3 primary steps involved in building a Visual Basic application. Draw the user interface, assign properties to controls, attach code to controls. Your first Visual Basic program. Now let us make your first small application. In this application, you will draw a button on the user interface. It will display Hello User when user clicks over that. So follow these steps. Start Visual Basic and start New Project by selecting Standard EXE and clicking on Open or double-click on Standard EXE. The Form Designer window will open, showing the project name as Project 1 and a default form named as Form 1. Notice the dots in Form 1, indicating that this form is currently active. You may resize the form by dragging the corner. You can rename the form as per your choice. To do so, click anywhere on the form to make sure that form is active. Go to Properties window. The left side column of this window displays the properties of the current object. Form is also an object, and right side shows the value of that property. Scroll through the list and get the property Caption. Notice that value of Caption is Form 1. Click in Value column in front of Caption and change it by typing Learning VB. Notice the title bar of the form changes from Form 1 to Learning VB. In the same way, you can change the name property of the form. You can find it at the top of the list. Change it to FRM Main. The project window title displays FRM Main in place of Form 1. This is the name of the form that is referred at the time of handling the event. Now, let us draw a button on the form. Select the Command button from the Toolbox window. Notice the changed mouse pointer. Double-click on Command button or click and drag the mouse pointer on the form to draw a rectangle. A Command button will be created. The square dots around the button tell that it is active. Using these dots, you can resize. Click on the Command button to make it active. Once active, Properties window will display its properties that you can edit. Scroll through List for Caption property and change it to Click here. You can change the name property also in the same way. Go to the top of the list to find Name property and change it from Command 1 to CMD Click. Execute the form by pressing F5 or click on the Start button on the standard toolbar or go to Run and then click Start. When you execute the program, the FRM main will be displayed like a window. Click on the command button and observe that nothing happens by clicking. Why is it so? You need event handling to attach some action to the controls. Click on Close button of the application window to stop the application. Now, let us add the code to specify what to do when command button is clicked. That means handle the event. Double-click on the command button. A text editor will be displayed and the procedure cmd click_click bracket open bracket close. You have to write code in this procedure to perform the task when button is clicked. MSG box. Hello user. Private sub cmd click_click bracket open bracket close. MSG box hello user. End sub. To view the form again, click on the View Object button in the project window. Execute the program again as before. Form will be displayed in a new window with command button saying click here. Click on the command button. A message box will appear displaying the message Hello user with the command button with a caption OK. Click OK to close message box. Saving project. Click on File and then Save Project from the menu bar. The Save Project as dialog box will appear. Give the name to the project and click on Save button. Opening a project. Click on File and then Open Project from the menu bar. The Open Project dialog box will appear. Scroll the drive list to select your file or type the file name in the File Name box. Click on Open button. Caution: while renaming field values in Properties window, it should be kept in mind, as it will be used in event handling when you attach same action to the controls.